The world is spinning faster. Political decisions in one capital now send shockwaves across the globe instantly. In Washington, Trump's tariff threats rattle markets. In Europe, a factory dispute in the Netherlands disrupts the auto industry. In Beijing, leaders quietly benefit from the chaos. The old rules of trade and diplomacy are breaking down. The post-Cold War order, once led by America and free markets, is fracturing. Nations are turning inward, prioritizing national interests over global cooperation. This shift breeds uncertainty. Businesses and investors are left guessing. Fear and anxiety rise, giving leaders new tools to exploit. Today's story is about three major players: the United States, Europe, and China, each with its own strategy and ambitions. The US swings between engagement and isolationism. Europe struggles to maintain unity and economic strength. China plays the long game, building power as rivals stumble. The interactions between these giants will define the century. To understand this new landscape, we must connect the dots. How a microchip factory in Europe links to a tweet from Mar-a-Lago, and how both might benefit Beijing. The world is now a single, sprawling narrative. Technology, finance, and politics are tightly woven. Making sense of the headlines means seeing the bigger picture, not just the parts. This is the challenge and necessity of our time. It started with a single factory in the Netherlands. It started with a single factory in the Netherlands. It started with a single factory in the Netherlands. The Dutch government expropriated a key semiconductor plant, citing national security. This shocked the business world and broke with decades of European free trade policy. The factory was vital to the auto industry, producing chips essential for modern cars. Overnight, assembly lines across Europe stalled. The move exposed the fragility of just-in-time supply chains. Economic nationalism is spreading. Strategic autonomy is the new buzzword. Europe wants to bring critical industries home, but the immediate result is chaos. Investors are spooked. The unity of the European bloc is threatened. A single political decision has triggered a continent-wide crisis. The fallout was immediate. Car factories slowed. German automakers cut production. Thousands of nearly finished cars sat idle, missing one crucial chip. The entire auto ecosystem, millions of jobs, was at risk. Stock prices tumbled, billions in value wiped out. The crisis exposed the dangers of relying on a single supply chain node. Boardrooms and governments are rethinking strategy resilience over efficiency. Companies are shifting to just-in-case models, diversifying suppliers, holding more inventory. Reshoring manufacturing to Europe will take years and billions in subsidies. In the short term, alternatives are scarce. Advanced chips come from only a few global players. Europe is scrambling, already behind in the race for vital components. The less in efficiency is risky in a volatile world. The crisis is forcing a painful, overdue reckoning. Europe's vulnerability is now impossible to ignore. Across the Atlantic, uncertainty brews as Trump revives talk of tariffs. He promises to protect American jobs with steep tariffs on China and maybe Europe. The business community remembers the last trade war: higher prices, lost markets, and instability. The mere threat of tariffs is already freezing investments. Trump's unpredictable tariff tango keeps everyone off balance. Businesses can't plan. Should companies move supply chains out of China? Build new US factories? No one knows. This uncertainty strains alliances. Europe fears it could be next. The result? Europe pushes for more independence, reinforcing strategic autonomy. China, meanwhile, presents itself as a stable partner. Trump's methods create chaos that others exploit. The world is holding its breath, waiting to see if the tariff dance will start again. The global economy is hostage to political unpredictability. Allies are wary, adversaries are watching. The stakes for global trade have never been higher. The next move could reshape the world order. The irony: U.S. tariffs meant to contain China have, in some ways, made it stronger. Tariffs forced Chinese companies to innovate and find new markets. China doubled down on its domestic economy and built global trade ties through the Belt and Road Initiative. U.S. pressure accelerated China's push for technological independence, especially in semiconductors. Instead of crippling China, American policy spurred massive state investment in tech. Now, as the West stumbles, China appears more stable and predictable. The chaos in global trade benefits Beijing. Chinese companies plan long-term, backed by a clear industrial strategy. Without firing a shot, China often emerges stronger from the trade war. In uncertain times, central banks are rushing to gold, the ultimate safe haven. Confidence in the US dollar and global financial system is eroding. Central banks, especially in emerging economies, are buying gold at record rates. It's a quiet rebellion against dollar dominance and US financial power. Gold is a neutral asset. No government can control or devalue it. The World Gold Council reports a surge in central bank gold buying. This signals deep distrust in the current global order. Central bankers are preparing for a fragmented, volatile world. Gold prices are near record highs, reflecting global anxiety. Individual investors are also flocking to gold, seeking stability. In a digital world, gold's tangibility is reassuring. The gold rush is a vote of no confidence in the paper-based financial system. Why gold? Its value is rooted in human psychology and history. For millennia, gold has symbolized wealth and permanence. In crisis, people turn to gold. It's real, tangible, and immune to government manipulation. Today's digital world feels abstract. Gold is the opposite, solid and reassuring. Inflation and low interest rates make gold more attractive. As paper money loses value, gold preserves wealth. The return to hard assets is a defining trend. Real estate, art, even rare whiskey join gold as safe havens. This shift reflects a loss of faith in financial and political institutions. Gold's shine is a mirror of dimming confidence in the established order. In uncertain times, gold is the anchor. Its appeal endures, even in the age of crypto. While the West is mired in drama, China plays a patient, long game. Beijing doesn't react to every crisis. It pursues its own goals as rivals are distracted. China has spent years building resilient supply chains and expanding global trade networks. The turmoil in the US and Europe is a propaganda win for Beijing. Our system is more stable. Economic chaos in the West makes China look reliable to some global companies. US tariffs push other nations closer to China's orbit. China is building an alternative system, its own trade rules, banks, and tech standards. Despite its own challenges, China's strategic focus is unmatched. While American politics is stuck in short-term cycles, China plans for 2035 and beyond. It invests in future technologies and quietly expands its global presence. China isn't winning by doing nothing. It's winning by staying focused. The world's distractions are China's opportunity. Where is this all heading? The era of easy globalization is over. The world is fragmenting into competing economic blocs. US and allies on one side, China on the other, with Europe in the middle. Competition for technology, resources, and influence will define the new order. Trade becomes politicized. Supply chains are reconfigured for resilience, not just efficiency. Hard assets like gold will remain attractive as financial systems become multipolar. America's power will wane as the dollar's dominance fades, creating new risks and opportunities. Nations must navigate a world of rival currencies and financial systems. The future of trade will be more managed, strategic, and contentious. The key question: can major powers compete peacefully, or will rivalry spill into conflict? The decisions made today will shape the world for decades. The stakes could not be higher.